let's see how much of a mess I can make.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, pouring this beer.
Yep. Gonna need some napkins. Jesus.
I mean... Welcome to the Charlotte Buzz, where we drink beer from local breweries while telling stories about the neighborhoods the breweries are from. I'm Chrissy, and this is Drew, and we're going to be your hosts on this interesting journey. This is actually our first episode, so we're still figuring it all out, but I think it's going to be a really fun ride, and we're excited to have y'all with us.
Yeah, pretty excited. Yeah, so for episode numero uno, we are going with Heist Brewery Stratisfaction. It's an Imperial Double New England IPA and 8.2%. So these two crowlers we got are probably going to
Be mighty nice.
help us remember these stories we got to tell.
Oh, super well. Let's see how much of a mess I can make.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, pouring this beer.
Yep. Gonna need some napkins. Jesus.
I mean, I was just trying to pour it without a whole lot of head on that beer, but clearly that's going to go super well. Bartender
Should
skills,
I pour
people.
my own?
Well, yours is fine now. You's got second. See, yours is great. Mine, not so much. But we'll clean that up later, I guess.
Yeah.
So what else you got to tell us about this beer? What'd you say? Imperial IPA?
Yeah, Imperial Double New England.
Oh. We got some friends in the New England.
It's double dry hopped with 100% strata hops. Probably where they get the name Stratisfaction.
What?
I know. Those guys at Heist Brewery, pretty smart.
I don't even have a comment to that. It was just too cheesy. It was great.
So, dank aromas and complex tropical fruit flavors reminiscent of mango, passion fruit, and citrus.
I was going to say, it does actually smell like, when I was a kid, I used to get the small, still tin cans of pineapple juice.
Oh, yeah.
That's, especially in the crowler with the, metal.
The Donald Duck juice. Do you ever have the Donald Duck juice? It's got, the duck on the can. Donald Duck on the can?
I have no idea, maybe. Huh.
Okay, well, if that's a real thing, we'll put a picture up here.
If it is. Right over his face, Donald Duck.
And if you're listening to it on a podcast, you won't get to see the picture.
Right. But we're on YouTube too, also, so you can see our super awkward interactions and how terrible I pour beer. You can see. So if you want, if you want to check that out, that's where you gotta go. YouTube. Shameless plug. But yeah, it really does. The metallic of the crowler and the flavor of the beer really does, to me at least, smells like that small can of pineapple juice. Mm-hmm. The Dole pineapple juice that you would mix with, whatever as an adult, but
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I guess we're gonna taste this thing, and we're not professionals by any means, or even close to that.
No, so I'm gonna let Drew take this first sip, and while he does that, explain how much of a professional I am. That I think I only even started liking beer less than a year and a half ago. Maybe 2 years if we're really pushing it. And even then, I only like IPAs so far, which, I'm told is pretty strange, but I just have a super bitter taste palate. So, what you got on that first sip?
Well, as everybody will come to find out, I pretty much have two categories when it comes to beer. There's it'll drink and it won't drink. And I think this one fits in the it'll drink.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it's good.
All right. So on the broad spectrum of acceptability, we've got a thumbs up, and then in my much more nuanced dislike of beers, I guess I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah, I think that'll drink. Granted, it's an IPA, and it's a little hazy, and it's citrusy, and that's pretty much my jam. But, I mean, it does kind of taste like the pineapple juice, so...
Well, you may have already had that in your head.
I mean, that's very possible.
Because pineapple wasn't even listed. It was...
But it's citrus. I mean, pineapple's a citrus.
Yeah, I guess. Mango, passion fruit.
I love mango.
And citrus. So you don't taste any mango?
I mean, maybe I'm just calling what I taste as mango as pineapple because that's in my head now.
And the word reminiscent of. I'm not sure what that means.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, I just snorted beer into my lap because I laughed at that so hard.
Is it really there? Or does it just make you think about it? Maybe Heist will leave a comment and let us know.
Do you think people care about us enough yet to know?
Yeah.
To comment?
They should.
I hope so. Maybe a professional brewer wants to come on and tell us how much we suck at tasting beers and commentating on them.
Teach us how to taste beers.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
That would actually be really interesting. I would love to do that. Any breweries local in the Charlotte area, if you want to teach us how to taste beer and know what the heck we're actually talking about, let us know. We would really love to do that. So
yeah, or not even just a brewery, just anybody.
I mean, yeah, that too.
If you're
a beer pro.
Yeah. I don't know. Do they have connoisseur?
I don't know.
Like wine connoisseur?
Sommelier for wine?
That's
wine. But do they have that for beer? Is there a beer term, or is that...
I feel like they should.
Is that term universally acceptable for any kind of alcohol, or is that... I mean, I've always understood it specific to wine, but is there a beer term that's an equivalent?
I don't
know. Somebody teach us that, too. Can you tell we're professionals? It's pretty great. All right, so anyway... like I said, this is from Heist, and typically when you think of Heist, you think Noda, great beer, cheese, and pretzels. I'm a fan. I know you're a fan. That's way more your style of beer cheese, but
yes.
I mean, cheese is life. So fun quick history. Heist was created in 2012, and they focus on small batch beer, which is Stratisfaction is actually one of the small batches. However, here in the glorious 2019, they have just this week, as of filming, opened what they're calling Heist Barrel Arts in North End, and it's a soft opening so far, but they are having their grand opening on February 23rd here coming up shortly. It'll be the following Saturday from when you're listening to this. And we actually got a chance to go there this week and check it out, and it was actually really cool. You walked in, and they're still actually fully in construction mode where they're sanding down the tables to even the grain out.
Staining it.
Yeah, it's all happening right there while you're drinking, but it was just a really cool experience to see, all the great murals and the life already built into it and what they're still actively creating.
Yeah, big Clint Eastwood on the wall. Mm-hmm. Larger than life.
There's a couple of different murals inside and out.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see a creative space being created. It's kind of a weird, like, Inception-y type of thing in my head. But nonetheless, in honor of their opening in North End, we are actually going to dedicate this episode to the North End area, which traditionally hasn't gotten a lot of discussion about it, I guess, because really Camp North End is the only thing that people talk about or know. And so with Heist opening up there, it's kind of creating a bigger picture and starting to develop the area even more. Which actually, fun fact that I found out, is before the developers, Atco Properties and Management, actually started developing Camp North End into what it is now, Heist had already actually purchased their property, and so they just kind of won the jackpot on who was coming into the neighborhood and what they were creating there to help build up the space, because, I mean, that could have really been anything.
Yeah, good guess at where the growth was going to be.
I mean, for sure. Like, that's dang good luck. But yeah, so we're going to dedicate this episode to the North End area. And like I said, Camp North End is pretty much the talk of the North End area, and so we're going to focus on that a little bit.
Where all the buzz is at.
Yes.
That's,
where all the buzz is at Camp North End.
The Charlotte buzz.
Shameless plug. I see what you did there. So, Camp North End is known for preserving the rich history that's in that area, as well as embracing the future and what's to come. And that's kind of its theme as a location, I think. And so we're going to try to format this episode of the podcast in the same way. So we're going to look at a little bit of history, a little bit of future, and what the North End area may become to the Charlotte community. So I'm going to start with a nice little rundown. The actual Camp North End area was first created in 1924, and it was Ford actually developed it as a Model T and Model A factory, which I always thought was really cool because Model Ts were the first sort of mass-produced vehicles. Yeah. And I didn't know that was like that there was, and I don't even know if there are multiple factories of that. I assume there were, but I didn't know that was.
Yeah, I think they
like a Charlotte type of company.
They
like
actually ship stuff from Detroit.
Okay.
Down to here, and I believe they were just assembled.
But still, yeah, like I had no idea that kind of thing happened in this area. Granted, if you've read our description, I'm the Yankee, so I don't know anything. I'm aware. But I had no idea, and I just thought that was really fascinating that something like so close to Charlotte was actually that was something so close to Charlotte. I thought that was cool. And then in 1941, the military actually, I don't know if they like kicked him out or what, but nonetheless, the military kind of took over Camp North End and became a warehouse for a bunch of supplies. And then in 1956, the military took it a step further, and that's where we get the camp from Camp North End, because it became the Charlotte Area Missile. I'm not saying that right. Missile plant. The Charlotte Army Missile Plant is what it became there in 1956, where they started building Hercules missiles.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just Hercules missiles. It was the whole Nike project.
Like, just do it?
Well, I think it was named after the same thing. The reason Nike made its name. It's named after the Greek goddess of victory.
Oh. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. So okay. I think they both stole the name from a Greek goddess.
Who was built? I mean, I don't know that you would know. I was going to say, who had it first?
The Army. The Nike project came first.
So yeah, because Nike just do it. It like said, "Screw you, military. I'm going to take your thing."
You mean Nike?
Yeah.
You said just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm calling it just do it because they're both called Nike. So that's my distinguishing factor.
I'm not real sure when they started, but I was gonna. 70s maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See how great my history is on anything.
We can look that up real quick. We need to get somebody who does this for us.
A researcher off in the corner?
Yeah. Kind of like Joe Rogan's guy.
I don't think we're quite to Joe Rogan's level yet, though. I mean, I know that's shocking to you, to me, to our 1.5 viewers out there right now, but I don't think we're there yet.
1964.
Oh, okay, so 8 years. Well, only 8 years since they took over Camp North End to build missiles. I can't guarantee when the Nike project started.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So the Nike project started after World War II.
Okay.
The Army Ordnance Department saw all the advances in offensive aircraft and knew they needed to create a surface-to-air missile that could combat those.
Okay. So we're going from the ground to the air, and we're trying to fight all the people who are making other advancements in offensive strategy.
Well, not strategy per se, but better aircraft. They can fly higher, fly faster, further range. Okay, so everybody else is making better, we'll call it planes, even though I know it's not just planes, but everybody else is making better planes, so we're going to create something better to take them down. Yes. Okay. So the Nike Ajax weapon system was started in March 1954.
Can I interrupt you for a really fun side story?
Yes.
Ajax was also Greece something or other.
Was it?
Or someone was like, Ajax was someone who like fought against Greece and took them down. And I saw this like Tumblr feed where it was like, dude, like there, because there's like soap that's called Ajax.
Yeah.
And so it was, somebody came on and said like, Ajax was actually this like person who took down Greece or like fought against Greece or something to that extent. Obviously, I know my Tumblr history super well.
So Ajax.
And so the slogan, like, tough on Greece or tougher than Greece for Ajax was really this, like, huge historical thing of, like, this soap is tough on Greece when you're cooking, but really it's Ajax is tougher than Greece, which is, like, a historical thing. And Tumblr brought this out, and of course people are like, oh my god, people have waited, like, decades for somebody to actually figure this out. And that was, like, just an incredible factoid that I learned via stupid internet memes, and it made my day. Carry on with Ajax.
I mean, I didn't catch the Ajax part, but the one that you mentioned is the Nike Hercules.
Okay, yes.
So
Hercules.
We're still in the mythology.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, Nike.
History realm.
You just taught me Nike,
Yeah.
so.
The Nike Ajax weapon system was the first land-based air defense guided missile system.
Whoa. Land-based, air-guided.
Air defense.
Land-based, air defense, guided missile system. Okay, so we're still looking ground to sky to fight the other people. Okay.
Yes. That's all that the Nike project is.
Okay.
It's just that Nike Ajax, that specific missile, was the first weapon system of that type.
Okay.
For America.
Okay.
So that was March 1954. And the Douglas Aircraft Company was actually the principal production source for the Ajax.
Charlotte Douglas Airport?
I tried to make that connection, but that's false.
Huh.
Charlotte Douglas was named after a mayor of Charlotte.
Good. I mean, cool.
Yes.
Didn't know. But all right.
So
How many times do you think I can interrupt this?
every time.
Okay. Keep going.
So yeah, the Douglas Aircraft Company was the principal production source for the Ajax missile system.
Okay.
Their primary production plant was in Santa Monica, California. That's where they were based.
I've been there. You're just going to laugh at me.
Cool.
He hates that I say I've been places. You'll learn. You'll understand in time. He hates it. Mm-hmm.
So they were building them in Santa Monica, California to begin with. The missile was capable of maximum speeds of over... That doesn't make any sense. Maximum speeds of over 1,600.
Yeah.
But speeds of over 1,600 miles per hour and could reach targets at altitudes of up to 70,000 feet.
I'm going to smile and nod at that.
Within
like I know
range.
what planes mean, but
Okay.
sounds good.
Within a range of about 25 miles.
Okay. That helps.
So their initial production started in Santa Monica, where Douglas Aircraft Company was based. But the War Department announced in December 1954 that the former Quartermaster Depot on Statesville Road in Charlotte.
Yep. What we know as North End.
Yeah, hashtag Camp North End. Would be used for the manufacture of the Army's Nike guided missile.
Ooh.
So that's December 1954. So they wanted production to begin in July 1955, so 8 months later. But they had some problems rehabilitating the structures that were in place. So they didn't start until 1956.
Yikes.
Yep.
Did they keep producing in Santa Monica until then, or was it just like halting all production?
Yeah, Santa Monica is going parallel with Charlotte. They're still producing there.
Okay.
Yeah. So the site was designated as Charlotte Ordnance Missile Plant, and then later changed to Charlotte Army Missile Plant.
Yeah, that doesn't have the same ring. The
comp.
clump.
Yeah.
Comp North End.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'd do what we'd have to do, but all right.
So once the buildings were finished rehabilitating, after they were done with the rehab,
Hashtag going to rehab.
Douglas Aircraft sent 35 key executives and technicians from Santa Monica, and the plant hired about 1,500 local charlatans.
Not Charletians?
That could be it.
I don't know. Again, I'm the Yankee. You're the unicorn. We got to know.
Well, you're the English folk, so it's Charlotte.
And I don't know. Yeah, but see, I'm also the person that grew up saying Appalachian Mountains, not Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
So this is I need Charlotte to tell me, is it Charletian or charlatan? I know it's not charlatan.
Say people from Charlotte.
I know charlatan is something different.
Yeah, it's not charlatan.
So I'm going to need some other folk to chime in on this. Is it Charletian or charlatan? And you're going to have to give me some really interesting ways to pronounce this. But go over to YouTube, find this video, and let me know. Because my unicorn over here is not helping me out. So
yeah, so they hired about 1,500 people from Charlotte.
Okay. That'll do.
Adding, they diversified the employment to the area because it was primarily a textile center.
Okay.
So, more trades. Camp delivered its first Nike Ajax missile ahead of schedule in July 1956.
Ahead of schedule, even though they were delayed 2 years? Or the new schedule?
Yeah, new schedule.
I was like, that's impressive.
Yeah. It wasn't their fault that it wasn't built.
I mean, they couldn't make a missile out of a car making
no,
place?
I don't think so.
That didn't work? Come on, man.
So, yeah, they made it ahead of schedule. And they never failed to meet deadlines after that either.
Well, rock on.
So they delivered most of their quotas ahead of time, actually. Tell that to the construction in Charlotte. 77 has been under construction for 77 years, feels like. As long as I can remember.
Longer than I've lived here, that's for sure.
So because they beat most of their quotas and were ahead of schedule most of the time, they actually transferred the majority of the missile production to Charlotte in 1956.
So it was in the same year that they switched most of the production over to Charlotte?
Looks like they did.
Well, all right. That's a big move.
Yeah, same year.
For the same year, just to say, oh, it's been less than a year, you're meeting schedules, you get it all.
Well,
not all of it, but that's that's a big move.
It seems like in Santa Monica it was a pre-built plant.
Okay.
So they could have designed systems better in Charlotte as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
better able to handle.
Yeah. Okay.
A larger load.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So now we are to the Hercules missile that you alluded to earlier.
Okay, so what changed from what they were doing to what that missile is?
It was just far more capable of a defense weapon. So it's more of a further, faster, stronger.
Okay. I can understand that.
Yeah, they can defend against smaller and faster targets, such as supersonic planes and tactical ballistic missiles.
Supersonic, like, I'm thinking X-Men jet.
Well, no, not like Star Wars where the stars are going by them.
No light speed?
No light speed.
Damn.
Supersonic just means you broke the sound barrier.
That's still pretty sweet.
I believe.
So, I will say the longer I drink this beer, the less I smell the pineapple in a can. Granted, I'm now drinking out of glass and not metal, so maybe that's it.
Well, that's because it wasn't really there.
Also possible. The beer has cleansed my brain of real thought and suggested thought.
Yeah. Mango, passion fruit, citrus.
Pineapple is citrus.
I think of oranges. Limes,
also citrus.
Lemons.
Also citrus. So are pineapples.
I don't know.
Tell me about the missiles. Bigger, better, faster.
bigger, faster, stronger.
Okay.
So the stronger is they were able to carry a nuclear warhead.
Ooh. Womp womp.
But they increased the range to 90 miles, 3,200 miles per hour, and they can hit targets flying over 100,000 feet in altitude.
Yikes.
So
again, I'm gonna half smile and nod like I know what planes do. I know what planes do, but I don't. The numbers really don't mean much to me.
I think a passenger jet flies at like 20, 30,000.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
I could be wrong there again too. I just throw out things sometimes and hope they stick.
I mean, I'm good with the spaghetti method.
So the Charlotte Army Missile Plant was the sole production site for the Nike Hercules missile.
Okay. So they stopped it entirely in Santa Monica.
Yes.
Okay.
Sole production site.
Okay.
So that's what that tells me.
Yes.
What they made in Charlotte was the missile airframe, forward and aft body, the main and center fins, and booster cluster, the warhead body assembly, and shipping containers. So build the missile and what it ships in. Interesting. Just like in the Ajax program, I didn't mention this, but Western Electric Company, another North Carolina company, manufactured the guidance systems and ground equipment.
Okay.
In their 3 North Carolina plants. So the brains of the operation was also produced in North Carolina.
All right.
So while the Hercules missile is going on, that's not all that Camp is making. So they created the Honest John XM50 rocket. I think I like Nike Hercules better.
I agree.
But Honest John, you know.
I mean, is that like Honest Abe?
I don't know.
It's like some weird amalgamation of Honest Abe and Dear John, and I don't know how I feel about it. I feel both like...
I don't know how you came to Dear John.
It's John! Honest John! It's an adjective and a name. So Honest Abe, and then Dear John, which yes is not an adjective. You get the idea. Clearly
I do not.
Don't.
So we will move on. So they also researched and developed for the Nike Zeus missile
really
numero tray.
getting into this mythology stuff.
The early 60s saw work done for other military agencies and NASA on aerospace vehicles,
Okay.
missiles, and military hardware, such as infantry-carried anti-tank weapons. I don't have any specifics on which ones. Probably the AT-4 because they're old.
Says the resident military expert. Thank you, kind sir.
On August 13th, 1965.
Is there going to be a test on this?
Probably.
I'm going to fail because I'm almost a full beer in.
Hope you were taking notes.
Yeah, I'm almost a full beer in. And for those unaware, that's about my limit. So,
I gotta catch up.
Yeah, you do. So finish up. Give me my quiz that I'm certainly going to fail. And,
I never came...
Tell me.
I never came back to how much it cost to install new facilities for the production of the Nike missiles.
Okay.
The Hercules, Nike Hercules
okay.
missiles. So the upgrades cost the Department of Defense $21.5 million.
In the 50s.
I'm assuming. So I looked up how much that is now, and that's about $200 million.
Blech.
So
if anybody wants to donate that to us,
yeah,
we'll have better research and better knowledge behind our tasting. You just let us know. We'll hook it up.
Yeah, so August 13th, 1965. That's been 9 years
Okay.
that Charlotte has been producing Nike Project missiles.
Okay.
The Assistant Secretary of the Army, I guess we weren't important enough for the Secretary of the Army.
Yeah.
We got his assistant.
Number 2.
Determined that retention of the plant cannot be warranted under new policies set by the Defense Department earlier that year.
So the sole creator of our missiles, the missiles that are a defensive weapon against all this better technology, that we are the only producers of and producing in a really wonderfully timely manner, they said, nah, I can't justify it.
Well, you have to think, too, this was like Cold War time. So there's a lot, we're scared.
Right.
So that's
so
why
we're going to stop producing the thing that is going to be our defense mechanism.
Well, what happened during the Cold War? How many missiles were fired? None. So we've been creating missiles for 9 years, and they're just not being used. So
we got a nice stockpile, so it's
so
unnecessary.
The Ajax.
All right.
The Ajax, they made 13,714 of.
Okay.
They were probably training, probably used some of them, but not 13,000.
Sure.
So I'm assuming they're sitting somewhere just waiting on somebody to shoot them.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I suppose that's fair. Okay.
So they're like, we don't need to make any more. Plus, they were developing, Charlotte was in charge of developing the Zeus.
Yeah.
Like, research into that. So maybe somewhere else
so they
got
didn't...
the Zeus.
Okay. So they did stop all production.
Yes.
And then the newest thing they just reallocated.
Yep.
Or relocated, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I could buy that.
Yeah, so...
I mean, obviously it's history, so it happened. I can buy the logic behind it. Go ahead.
Well, after looking back at my notes, they stopped missile production in Charlotte, but they kept doing repair parts for them.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Like, I feel like missiles are one use. So, like, what do you need to repair?
I mean, is it like those ones sitting in storage? Maybe it was like
stuff just falls off.
Launchers or something, or it was like they had ones that were like duds when they tried to launch them, so they came in and fixed whatever wasn't functioning.
Well, duds, a lot of times they'll just like gather duds together,
blow them up somewhere.
Yeah, that's how they happen a lot, or they just leave them. There's places, and
that's not terrifying. You just show up and there's like an abandoned field of like missiles.
Well, there's places in El Paso.
Is that not like super dangerous? Because like, yes, it's a dud, but also like the reason behind it being a dud doesn't nullify it from ever going off.
Yeah. So what they do with those is they just put a sign up in the general area that says "Warning: Unexploded ordnance could be here." Huh. So walk carefully. Is basically what they say. Yeah, so we're still producing repair parts.
Okay.
And they keep doing that until the last equipment leaves the site May 1967.
Okay.
So in pure government fashion, it takes them almost 2 years to take their stuff.
Shocker. Cool. So, any final thoughts on that military history you just gave us?
No. One thing I want to know more about is the wood block flooring. Oh. If you go in Camp North End where these missiles were made, they're just wood block squares. Yeah. Or it looks like 2x4s.
Yeah, like it's not cement, it's not paved, it's not cinder block, it's not anything on that ground. It is, Yeah, and
it's like the ends.
It's almost like wooden bricks. Yeah.
And I saw where it had something to do with when you drop things, it helps with not having explosions. I don't remember where I saw that at, but I want to know. I try to look up the reasoning or like how that helps and what that does, but I couldn't really find anything.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so
because that was we've been there, so it's been that was something we did note on our own before knowing any of this history, and it is just a very
It's
interesting texture, yeah, to be walking on, and like the sound change and just the little things that you take for granted in your everyday life of walking on pavement or concrete or tile or whatever, and then suddenly you're walking on almost like wooden pegs. I mean, that's not the right word.
I mean, they do a good job of making it smooth.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel...
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
we were
like cobblestoney.
Yeah.
But
it looked weird.
Yeah, you could tell there was something off about it.
And there's a reason behind it. I couldn't figure out what that was. So that could be another thing where people can go to YouTube, and if you know anything about that, let us know.
Yeah.
Because
military buffs, please tell us.
I was pretty interested in that. And maybe not just military buffs, just...
Sure. Construction buffs?
I don't know. I don't know anywhere else where they've used that.
Yeah. I mean, I also don't know that I've been anywhere else that has developed missiles. So, I don't know.
True.
Anybody who can give us some details on that? That would be great. But anyway, so like you just said, it was 1967. Took them, 2 years to finally get all their stuff out? Mm-hmm. And so in 67, they got bought out by Eckerd Pharmacy Warehouse and Storage. So just, not pharmaceutical, but pharmacy. I don't know really what the difference is between pharmaceutical and pharmacies. I mean,
well, I feel like it's like buyers versus sellers.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, it's the same thing, but not the same thing.
Yeah, Eckerd's I don't think they create the drugs. They're like the middleman.
Yeah.
The drug dealer.
Yeah, the legal dealer. But yeah, so it got bought out by Eckerd in 1967, which was ultimately bought out by Rite Aid. So basically, Rite Aid Storage came in and took over after the military moved out. And then it actually sat vacant for several years up until now, when the ATCO Properties and Management bought it out and decided they were going to bring it into the present and the future. And that was one of their big things in developing the land, is they wanted to definitely preserve the rich history of, this first national car chain that helped build American factories and production lines and jobs, and just really develop the economy in America, to the military, which, helped create the world power that we've been, and then, pharmaceutical, and just all of the different areas that it has been and functioned as. They really wanted to preserve that rich history while also embracing the present and the future and helping develop into what's to come. And so it's actually developed into a co-working space. There's a lot of little shops. It's kind of a weekly hangout place with live music and drinks and food and just all of the different things that encompass the Charlotte culture today. And they're looking toward the future and what's to come. And so that's what I wanted to specifically highlight is one of the actual tenants of Camp North End is a company called BLKTECHCLT Charlotte. And they are a company that focuses on bringing diversity into the startup and entrepreneurial community. And I really wanted to highlight them because since Camp North End is really this focus on the present and looking into the future and what's to come, I think they're a really perfect example of this. It's basically a community of Black entrepreneurs and people looking to get into this tech world and create a business. And so the founder, and I am so sorry if I say this wrong, I hope I'm saying it right, but Sherelle Dorsey, she is looking to basically bring more diversity and inclusivity into this startup community. And so they basically have kind of four main things, from what I understand, that they're trying to do to develop this. So they work on networking, skill building, mentorship, and funding. And so basically they hold actually monthly learning labs that help career development, and it's kind of all different levels of building your skills and building resumes and interview skills and connecting you with people. And they've worked with a lot of different organizations to give out microloans and just all over the place, trying to help create and develop and really empower this more diverse group of people to join the entrepreneurial sphere. And so they actually started in 2016, and in that first year that they partnered with some other organizations and provided $100,000 in microloans to entrepreneurs.
Dang.
And that was in 2016. And so now we've just hit 2019. And they originally had plans to do quarterly learning labs and networking events. And now they're up to monthly. And even then, it's just doing a quick search on their website appears that they've got 3 or 4 things happening monthly.
Okay.
So they have, more than exceeded their original goals. And again, their founder, she actually has a history in data research and data journalism, which I actually thought was interesting. I didn't exactly know that was a thing. I mean, to whatever degree journalism requires data and research, and I just thought that was a very niche thing. I thought it was cool. So that's kind of her background, and so it makes a lot of sense that basically what Black Tech Charlotte is realistically all revolves around gathering data and who exists in the sphere, and then using that data to empower the people who want to be in that sphere, whether it's through monetary means or connections and mentorship or other sorts of networking items, and just general information providing. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
She also, in 2016, so, I mean, busy woman, because in 2016 is when we founded Black Tech Charlotte. She also founded The Plug, which is a daily tech newsletter for Black innovators and founders. So not only has she created this physical community and this place to empower people of color to really dive into this entrepreneurial spectrum, but is also giving daily encouragement and information, and again providing all of this data that she already has a background in to help promote this community and to ultimately diversify all of Charlotte. And so I just think it's a really cool and really fitting organization to be in this Camp North End place, because we're looking at a place that has such a rich and varied history, and trying to preserve that while also kind of integrate into what today's society is, as well as looking to the future of what could be and develop this area of Charlotte that's just super underdeveloped. Like we said in the beginning, Camp North End is the only thing people know of in this area. And so how fitting is it to have this community here that has, yes, a rich and varied history, not all of it pretty, most of it not, unfortunately, that is now trying to integrate in a new way into society as it is, and really to try to break molds and develop into a place that really hasn't been common so much there. I just think it's a perfect fit, and I just really love seeing the idea of Camp North End being so specifically shown through just this one organization. And I mean, Camp North End has this super varied group of companies and organizations that exist there anyway. You've got Huga, which is a co-working space, which of course in its own little bubble has several groups of people. You've got Prism Supply, which is a motorcycle shop, which just has a really cool history itself. You've got Hex Coffee, which of course I'm a coffeeholic, so love it. Yeah. You've got all kinds of different people that are coming and going at all times, and you've got these kind of weekly events with live music and food trucks and food and drink, and we've been there a couple of times, and again, just a really cool place. And I just love that you have something with so much meaning and heart behind it amidst all the things that we sort of take for granted.
Yeah, I just find it real inspiring when somebody sees an issue and just attacks it. Mm-hmm. Let's find a way to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't understand, I know the two of us, we're working on building a business and building different avenues of things that come out of that, and I just think it's so empowering to see a woman coming in who has had plenty of reasons for culture and society to knock her down, who comes in and says, you know, I'm going to do this, and not only starts this organization, but starts this newsletter and all these different things going on, and she's just killing it. And I'm sure for her specifically is, you know, it's not about her, it's about her people and the movement and everything else. And I hate to even say, like, her people and make that that distinction, because, I mean, us personally, we, you know, people are people and whatever, but I mean, that's our culture, unfortunately, is that there's been so many dividing lines that, I mean, to whatever degree that I can, I get it. If nothing else, like, as a woman, I get it. But nonetheless, it's been something that, like, some people, like, we're almost forced to create that distinction because it's the only way to fix the distinction that's been made without realizing it. Nonetheless, tangent aside, I just really respect her, and I think it's a really cool concept, and more power to them. And so if that's something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend you checking them out. They're online on social media.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Yes, we will put all the links. Just a really cool space, and definitely love what they're doing there and everything that they are standing for. Apparently, I am not so good at talking nearly as long as you are, because I talk for all of 5 seconds, and man, I'm, like, parched.
Well, you go pretty fast.
I don't know how to take that one. Listen, we've been through this already. I'm the Yankee. I don't have a slow southern drawl. I just spit that out. That's how my world works. If you don't talk fast, you don't get a chance to talk where I'm coming from.
Important thing real quick, though. Do we have any more beer in that crowler?
Oh, we sure do. Not a lot, but enough for you to have a little bit more.
Can you give me a little more? Try not to spill it on the table this time. All right. Okay.
You enjoy all that.
Might have to
let it sit for a minute.
Yeah. Or take a second here in a minute and go get the other one.
But yeah, so that's kind of our show that we've got today. And like I said, it's our first episode. We're going to work through some of the kinks, and we're going to get more comfortable with the format that we want to happen on this show. But we definitely want to know what you want out of the show. So if you're not over on YouTube watching this, hop on over, leave us a comment on any of the things that we have no idea about that we have clearly said.
Yeah, you can leave a review.
Yeah.
And a comment wherever you get your podcasts at, wherever you're listening to this at.
And then, definitely throw up some suggestions, throw up any kind of ideas or corrections. I mean, we are clearly super well versed in everything that we're talking about.
Subject matter expert.
Yes.
SME.
But on the real, thank you, Heist, for making great beer and for preparing to officially launch your second brewery, which actually, again, Heist Barrel Arts in North End. They are opening in phases, and so this is phase 1, and so they will have a phase 2 and phase 3 of their openings. And so things to look forward to are a sour room, an outdoor beer garden, a bakery, a butcher shop, and a lot more. So definitely be looking out for when those next phases of opening will come. But they are having a grand opening official party with all kinds of fun shenanigans happening. That will be on February 23rd. Starts at 11 a.m., goes to 11 p.m. So definitely something you're going to want to check out. Really great space. I can't wait to see it completely done. We'll definitely be there at that opening. And yeah, so check us out on YouTube. Leave comments and reviews anywhere you are watching or listening. Follow us on social media at VanGo, VanGo, Creative. And we will see you all next week.
Check you later.
And if you are a local brewery and you want to be featured as one of our local beers, let us know, because we would love to get a growler of your beer. Thanks.
Also, I want to talk about that thing I've been wanting to tell you.
Tell me the thing you want me to tell me.
If you don't hit the table at my face.
I'm going to hit the table every time.
So, I'm quite a peruser of the Reddit.
Okay.
And
is there a Blueit?
I don't believe so. Not that I know of.
See how I do all the dad jokes? I'm pretty terrible.
Sometimes he blew it and she blew it and they blew it.
I see what you did there.
Anyways.
Dad jokes for days, guys. Tell me.
Anyways.
Tell me more. Mm-hmm.
So, I'm on Reddit. The Charlotte Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this guy is posting about doing... Well, first of all, do you know what March Madness is, Chrissy?
Basketball?
Yes.
It is the season when everybody loses their minds because they don't know if it's going to be winter or spring. That is what March Madness is.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant basketball. Yes. Yes, I'm
so,
familiar with college basketball.
You know, and we love that here in the state of North Carolina. Hashtag Go Heels.
I do have to say, in the North, I mean, probably March Madness is more of a thing, but we've had this discussion many times where the college football thing, unless you're a Penn State fan, I'm from Pennsylvania, unless you're a Penn State fan, college football is really not a thing at all. So March Madness is more of a novelty for sure, but still, college sports in general are not what I'm familiar with growing up.
So anyways, I come across this March Madness bracket. And I can't go to the post for some reason. But Redditor Zodiac Files wants to do a March Madness bracket of the breweries in Charlotte.
Oh my goodness.
So...
That's incredible.
I sent him a message.
Oh no.
That's what I do.
Oh my God, what'd he say?
And I said, hey, love your idea for the bracket. My business partner and I are starting our podcast and would love to use your idea with proper attribution, of course. If you're interested, shoot me an email and we can talk more details.
Oh my goodness.
So he's in.
Oh my God.
So
oh my God, tell me all about this. He's been telling me that he's had this under his hat for days, and I'm so stoked that this is a thing.
Yeah. So Zodiac Files says, just got this message and he'd love to participate. And so I gave him a breakdown of what we were doing. And told them that each week we could preview the matchups.
Oh my God, I love this.
So, say it's Heist against Wooden Robot.
Okay.
We will just, try a couple of their beers, tell you what we think, talk about the ambiance, things like that. Basically, just a review. And, let people use their own opinions, but also give them our opinion because that's what podcasts are for. And so
if you are
we're
not
trying
watching
to figure out the.
If you're not seeing this on YouTube, you are missing the expression on my face. But oh man, I am excited to say the least.
So, yeah, I told him, we'll work with him and figure out what the best way to go about this is. I think he's wanting to post a bracket of some sorts on Reddit in the next couple of weeks. I'd like to do a web version where, you vote on round one on week 1 of March, vote on round 2, stuff like that. And we need to discuss it more and see where we're at. But maybe if anybody wants to do a bracket challenge, whoever
if you
wins the bracket challenge, we'll get them like a gift card to the winning bracket.
Yeah. I was gonna say we'll buy you a growler of beer from that place, but we'll get you a gift card and you can do with it what you will. Yeah. But that sounds great.
So look out for that. Go to @VanGo Creative on probably Instagram. That's where we use it.
We've got the others, but Instagram's the safest. For
news on that, we'll develop that some more. And
that's VanGo Creative. We're not Van Gogh. We're Van Scoten and Golden. VanGo.
Yeah. So, more news to come on that, but thought that would be something cool to do.
That's excellent. And so definitely leave us your comments and suggestions on what you'd like to see, but this will definitely be part of it for the next several weeks. So that's awesome. I am stoked.
Yeah, in March. Not these several weeks, but March weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Peace.